tonight, league MVP Art Schleister, along with Mr. Excitement Novo Boyovich, and game-breaking wide receiver Gary Mullen return along with coach Tim Markham to kick off the 1991 Arena football season. From McNichols Arena in the mile-high city of Denver, Mass Sports kicks off its coverage of the three-time Arena football champions, the Detroit Drive. Tonight, Art Schleister and company tackle the Denver Dynamite. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Beckmann, along with Jim Brandstatter from here at McNichols Arena in Denver. And tonight, Jim, the Detroit Drive with Tim Markham back as the head coach try for what the team is calling 4 on the floor.
No other team in professional sports has ever done it except the Boston Celtics. 4 straight championships, and Tim Markham has come back to try to put 4 Arena Ball championships in Detroit.
Well, he had 2 championships in Detroit. Perry Moss was the coach last year when this Drive team, led by Arena Ball MVP Art Schleister, gained its 3rd straight championship.
And Art Schleister will be a key again tonight. Schleister is the guy that has to play well for the Detroit Drive to play well. He's got NFL experience with the Indianapolis Colts. He's a quality quarterback. More importantly, he's a smart quarterback. In this league, you got to be able to read defenses on the fly, and that's Schleister's strength.
And like in any football league, you also have to be able to pressure the passer. The Drive is counting on a former USFL Defensive Player of the Year, John Corker, ex of the Michigan Panthers, to handle those shorts. But Jim, quite frankly, in arena football, Corker has never been the great pass rusher.
No, and Corker, you know, when he was playing in the USFL, and for that matter his tryouts in the NFL, he played an outside linebacker and played from a 2-point stance and was able to roam around the field. In this league, he's got to get down in a 3-point stance and basically be in the pit and battle people hand to hand. He hasn't really gotten the knack of it yet, but he's a big play defensive guy. He can get the job done, and he always seems to do it at big times. That's what the Detroit Drive must get from him tonight.
Well, the Drive and the Dynamite have met twice before, both times back at Joe Louis Arena, and the Dynamite have beaten the Drive in both of their meetings. One of the big keys last year, the play of number 17, Bart Schutz, a wingback, a slot receiver who does it all. They use him on reverses. They use him in pass routes. He was a great linebacker at Florida State.
And that was the big thing of why he's so valuable for the Denver Dynamite. The guy is a linebacker mentality out of college. So he's a great athlete. He's tough, hard-nosed player who gets the ball, who's in the receiving game. Denver likes to get him the ball as much as they can because he's so versatile. He can make a lot of different things happen, and he's tough for a secondary back to bring down.
He sure is. Now, another player you want to keep an eye on is number 62, the center for the Denver Dynamite. You want to watch him, if for no other reason than sentimentality. Mr. Mike Freeman played 5 years for the Denver Broncos in the NFL. Played in 2 Super Bowls and started one of those. Also played a year for the Raiders. He brings great experience to this Denver team.
Yeah, he does. And, of course, you look at a guy like that who's had the tremendous, you know, Denver Broncos experience with the Super Bowl. And Denver takes their football teams to heart. He's a guy that a lot of people are going to come here and watch tonight, only because of the fact that he was a Denver Bronco. And you know, because he's got the NFL experience and experience in big games like the Super Bowl, he's going to impart a lot of that wisdom to the younger kids on the Denver squad.
Well, the Denver Dynamite is coached by former NFL quarterback Babe Perilli. The Drive coached once again by Tim Markham, who won the first 2 of Detroit's 3 arena championships. And after a year as an assistant coach in Florida and an assistant coach in the World League most recently with Mouse Davis, he returns to coach the Drive. But he's only had 3 days to work with his football team before tonight's opener. And so the performance of his team, what to expect from the Drive, is a mystery to Markham as well.
I think we've got a pretty good football team. The problem is that I don't know what kind of football team Denver has because they've had a lot of changes. They've got the nucleus back of a ball club that's beaten us the last 2 years. So that's kind of scary.
And so Tim Markham has no idea really what to expect from this team, although he's looked at film, Jim, and knows that he has a solid and veteran ball club with a lot of players around the 30-year-of-age mark, and that gives you a solid nucleus.
Well, the one thing that Tim Markham wants to have happen against Denver tonight, last year he saw the film and he said basically they physically kicked us around. I almost can guarantee that will not happen tonight with Markham at the helm.
Ought to be exciting, the Arena football opener from here at McNichols Arena in Denver. The Detroit Drive against the Dynamite of Denver. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. The homestanding Denver Dynamite has won the opening toss and will receive the kickoff to start this 1991 Arena football season. Novo Boyovich, number 3 out of Central Michigan University, to kick it away. Back in the deep spot for Denver, number 27, Wayne Coffey. Novo moves forward, and we're underway at McNichols Arena. Novo's kick goes through the uprights off the net. Coffey can play it from there. Brings it out over the 10-yard line where John Corker hauled him down. A return of about 16 yards by Wayne Coffey. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Drive, John Corker is being counted on to really bring some pass rush pressure against the Dynamite tonight. John Relk up front, along with Troy Knight, the defensive specialist. Mike Holt pitching it to Marshall Foreman. He fumbled the ball, but the officials are ruling he was down after a pickup of about 4 yards to the 15. Marshall Foreman, an interesting story, Jim. Former 3-year starting fullback at Arkansas and the cousin of the former heavyweight champion George Foreman. And Marshall wants to pursue a boxing career himself.
Yeah, he's had about a dozen amateur fights, and I'll tell you what, he is a tough, hard-nosed little kid. He's only 5'10", 5'9", 195 pounds. He can get the job done. He is a tough customer.
That quarterback, Mike Holt, you're looking at there, is a tough one, too. As he hands it to Foreman again. There is no room as John Relk, the former Iowa star, just plugs the middle of that line.
John Relk did a great job, basically submarining the center and creating a stalemate in the middle. That allowed the inside linebackers and Corker from the right side to get in and stop it.
The Drive with a few changes on defense. Gary Mullen is in there wearing number 1. William McClay, number 5. Tate Randall in the lineup, number 29. He led Arena football with 7 interceptions last year. And David Evans, 26, also in. Out of the shotgun on third down against the blitz. Clark Schutz can't hold on. Good coverage by Tate Randall. Close to interference.
Close to interference, but I'll tell you what, that's why Tate Randall is in the ball game, because Tate Randall is the best defensive cover guy one-on-one in this league. Look at him, right on the hip of Schutz. And with the right hand, he might have got a piece of Schutz around the hip, but the referee didn't see it. He got the left hand in front and batted the ball away. You're not going to see better one-on-one coverage than that from Tate Randall.
Rusty Fricky will attempt a 50-yard field goal. Mike Holt, the quarterback, will spot the ball. Fricky's got a good foot to it. It's wide right and off the net to Gary Mullen. And he's got it out to about the 6-yard line. They'll mark it to 7, a gain of 13 on the run back, and the Drive will put the ball in play offensively after the tackle by Bart Schutz. Timeout on the field. We're just underway. No score. Former All-American quarterback at Ohio State, Art Schleister, leads the Drive out on offense for the first time tonight. I mentioned earlier, Jim Schleister, the Arena Ball MVP last year, throwing for over 1,700 yards and 27 touchdowns.
Well, great experience at that position, and I think maybe more importantly, the ability to read defenses after the snap of the ball. In this league, you've got to do that to be successful.
Schleister's favorite receiver, number 1, Gary Mullen, but he throws it quickly to George LaFrance. He goes down and makes the catch for a gain of about 5 to the 12. Frank Bianchini in on the coverage. Denver starting John Norris, Joe March, and Mike Freeman. Up front, Freeman, of course, was the starting center for the Denver Broncos for 5 years. We mentioned earlier. Doucette, Schutz, and Foreman. out there defensively in this Iron Man League as Alvin Reddick turns the corner, has a first down, and is chopped down at midfield after a gain of about 13 yards. First down for the Drive.
I'll tell you, great job by Shelly Anderson, number 66. The right guard caved in the entire left defensive side, and that was Mike Freeman, the guy we talked about, who is an offensive player for the most part from the Denver Broncos. And that time he just got buried inside by Shelly Anderson of the Drive, and that created all that room to the outside for Reddick to get around the end and get the Drive a first down.
This is LaFrance in motion. Schleister going deep for Mullen. Incomplete. Wayne Coffey got a hand on the football in the end zone, and Mullen couldn't quite hold on.
I'll tell you, the safety was a little bit late getting over there, but Schleister maybe waited it too long and lofted it up a little too high, and it was behind Mullen. But there you see the safety come over and make the big hit to stop him from making it happen, and that was Alvin Williams, number 5.
Coffey had gotten a hand on the ball. Mullen nearly caught the deflection, and then Williams knocked it away. From the Dynamite 24, Schleister throws it poorly behind George LaFrance. He was getting some heat that time from Joe March, number 73.
Well, obviously, Detroit thinks that the secondary for Denver might be susceptible to the crossing pattern, because we've seen LaFrance go across the middle, and we saw Mullen earlier on a post cut. Here, the ball is just underthrown, but you can see LaFrance is open. If Schleister delivers the ball outside on LaFrance's hands in stride, that's going to be a first down for the Drive.
Schleister only 1 out of 3 for 5 yards so far. McClay in motion. Schleister bobbled the snap, hit as he throws to McClay over his head. And Schleister was leveled by Marshall Foreman and gets up slowly. He's got a sore knee, Jim.
He's got a sore knee, and Foreman came through basically unblocked. It was a little bit of a delay blitz. Schleister has trouble first hanging on to the football. But watch Reddick. He gets caught inside, and Foreman makes the move around him, and Reddick never saw him because Foreman is small. We told you, about 5'9". He blitzed late, and he just got lost with all the big people, and Reddick never saw him until it was too late. So that time he was all over Schleister.
Novo will try a 39-yard field goal out of the hold of backup quarterback Ron Adams out of Eastern Michigan. Long enough, wide right, played off the net by Wayne Coffey. And he's got it out near the 10-yard line where Alvin Reddick submarined him. So Rusty Fricky of Denver has missed a 50-yard field goal. Novo has missed a 39-yarder. And the game remains scoreless with 8:56 to play in the first quarter. Jack Baker, the referee for tonight's game, leads a veteran crew into action. Denver, which failed to pick up a first down on its opening possession, goes to work. Hold on a play-action fake, incomplete. And a flag is down in the Detroit secondary.
Hold rolled to the right. Looked like he wanted to go down the field to the right sideline, and the Drive just had tremendous coverage, or they were guilty of interference or holding.
Well, and that appears to be the case. Holding against the Drive. Hold's pass was too low for Doucette, but holding in that secondary gives Denver its first down of the ball game.
Thrown over in the area of William McClay. Tim Markham, of course, the coach of the Drive, has always been friendly with the referees, but I think we'll work them a little bit on this game.
Bianchini in motion. Hold stumbled over Foreman's legs. Now regains his balance and led Bianchini too far. What a gun Hold has. And now we've got tempers flaring between the two 62s. John Relk of the Drive and Mike Freeman of the Dynamite.
I tell you, Hold wanted to go outside to shoot that time. And guess who was there for the Detroit Drive? Tate Randall. He saw Schutz come out into the corner, into the flat. He saw Hold looking at him, and Randall just closed the gap. Forced Hold to go to a secondary receiver and make a poor pass.
DS you saw on your screen a moment ago under specialist, but defensive specialist. That Schutz in motion. Here's a little screen to Foreman. Good blocking. He's up to midfield. Turns it up the sideline and is finally rammed into the wall at the Detroit
Great play call by the Denver Dynamite. The drive had been coming real hard to make things happen, especially in the pass rush, and Hold was not getting his receivers open downfield. What do? They just throw a little screen pass. Foreman gets wide open just underneath the rush. Hold dumps it to him, and it's good for 22 yards and a big first down.
2 in a row for Denver. 7 minutes left first quarter. Hold on an option, keeps it, runs by Corker, and then Randall rams him out of bounds into the wall after a gain of about 8 yards.
And you know what it was, Frank? It was a counter option because Hold started off going to the right, and the whole defense moved with him, especially the secondary. Then he just came back inside and cut between the center and the guard. The guard got a good block on Corker, forced him outside, and Hold squeezed through the crease.
So the Dynamite on the march. And there's movement up front. That looked like Junior Tauiliili, number 87, the tight end who moved too soon. He's out of Colorado, and they like to call him Junior Ely, and I think we will also.
Fine with me, Frank. I'm not going to try Tauiliili all day long. It's all yours.
He played for both. They played for Bill McCartney most recently at Colorado. Then went to the World League of American Football in Frankfurt. Made it to the final cut. Now he's trying it in arena football. Hold overthrowing Doucette at the goal line. And now Denver faces 3rd down and 6. And Mr. Hold is just 1 out of 4. And that one completion was the screen pass to Foreman.
Opening up. The drive defensively has done a great job against receivers downfield. They've been hurt with the running play, the option, and the sweep, and the draw. That's all that's hurt. Defensively, the drive have a good game plan going, and Hold is not on target. You almost got to think they got to take advantage of this sputtering attack before Hold gets ready.
Hold under some pressure, throws incomplete. Intended for Willie Cannon, who had checked in at running back. And so Hold misfires again, and that promising Denver drive will wind up with Rusty Fricky attempting another field goal.
Well, Cannon came out of the backfield and I think got caught up in the pass rush. It was supposed to be a little screen, and it just took him too long to get there, and Hold had to throw the ball away because you saw the pressure coming.
26-yard attempt by Fricky, who missed from 50 earlier. This time the kick is good. And so Denver draws first blood with 5:08 to play in the first quarter. The Dynamite on the field goal by Rusty Fricky goes on top of the drive by a score of 3-0. Denver drive with only 3 points on the board against it.
Now, I think Mike Hold is having a bit of a problem. He is not sharp. He's thrown a lot of passes over the head of his intended receivers. While the drive has not gotten to him with the pass rush, Hold I don't think is sharp. He's only had one pass. That was the easy little dump-off screen pass to Foreman. Other than that, he has been overthrowing everybody. Maybe it's opening game jitters. One thing the drive can't afford to do is let Hold get into a pattern and a rhythm. They got to take advantage of Hold while he's not hot and make something happen themselves.
Well, that last drive to the field goal, 25 yards in 7 plays, 22 yards on the screen pass. The kick by Fricky handcuffs George LaFrance and goes out of the end zone. And that'll be a touchback, meaning in arena ball, the drive starts on its own 5-yard line.
Well, Fricky hit that as a line drive knuckleball, and those are the toughest to catch. LaFrance is one of the best returning guys in the league, but that was a tough kick to handle.
Well, there you see the scoring drive. Again, the 22-yard screen pass, the key to the drive. Schleister to throw, complete to Gary Mullen. And Wayne Coffey treats him rather rudely, gives him a Dennis Rodman elbow into the boards.
Well, I was going to say, I would think Marshall Foreman would be more into that than
right. Winged poster flag. Right. Winged poster flag.
That's Tim Markham calling the play, Jim. You explain what that means.
Well, what he's talking about, a wing poster flag means that receiver, the wing back, is going to read the safety, and he will make a post cut to the middle of the field or go to the sideline, depending upon where the safety is.
And we've got the mix-up at the snap, and you won't see Tim's play come to fruition.
Let's go back down and see if we can listen to Tim.
Okay, well. So you just want to go regular right formation. Let's go. Left load, 37.
Left load, 37. Now that means that they're going to run. This will be a running play on 2nd down and 8. And it will go around the left end. And they're going to load up on number 75, James Spady, to the left side. And try to make this through the ground.
Eric Anderson carrying it, and he's going nowhere. Spady fought off the blocks. And Eric Anderson, who played for Pittsburgh last year with good second effort, turns it into a gain of a yard or two, and we have an injured Denver player down on the field. Jim, I can't make out his number from up here just yet. Looks like it may be Junior Ely who's down and was grabbing his right knee.
And right now they're looking at him. They're trying to get him up. But let's go to commercial position right now while they work on Junior Ely. We'll be back with more Drive Dynamite football from McNichols Arena in Denver when we return on
Denver leading Detroit 3-0. And watch for number 87, Junior Ely. Watch his right ankle right here. That is a bad sprain, folks.
Bad sprain indeed, and hopefully there's no ligament damage in there.
36, meantime, for Art Schleister. Feeling some heat back in the end zone. Sacked at the 1-yard line by Tim Adams out of BYU, who nearly made the Washington Redskins team last summer.
Schleister wanted to go over to the right side, saw that Gary Mullen was completely covered, tried to escape to his left to get something done, had no chance, and really Schleister did a great job to get out of the end zone and keep the drive from getting a safety.
Well, he got away from John Norris, but that man, Tim Adams, ran him down for the first sack of the ball game. And now Novo Bojovic really has his work cut out. This will be a 65-yard field goal attempt. Wayne Coffey is deep. Adams puts it down. Novo's kick is away. It'll come nowhere near the uprights and sails out of bounds in the end zone. They will mark it at the 6-yard line. They'll rule that's where it went out. How they figured that spot out, Jim, I don't know.
One of the referees was in the end zone, and he moved up forward, and the referee behind Novo Bojovic.
I'm not buying this.
Yeah, I'm not either, but that's the way they got to do it. But Novo gets this one and just hooks it. And really, in a sense, it's not a bad kick in that sense because it doesn't get off the net. It doesn't give the Denver receiver Coffey any chance for a return. Now the drive go back to work on defense.
Now the two quarterbacks have been ice cold. Schleister 2 out of 5, 10 yards. Hold 1 out of 5. That was the screen pass for 22 yards. This running play with Gerald Abraham carrying the ball will gain a yard or so.
I'll tell you, Abraham that time went in motion. So let's go back down and listen to Tim Markham again.
Hey, referee!
he's yelling at the line judge, Autry Terry, and I'm not sure what he wants.
I think he wants to get his attention about something.
Hey. Well, he's going to tell one of those Southwest Texas jokes. Hold on the run. Underthrows to Settle, makes a great catch. David Evans is claiming he trapped it. The officials say no. They'll call that a completion for a gain of about 24 yards.
They're going to rule it a completion, but I'm not sure. Hold gets up in the pocket, underthrows this football. Now, we can't see it from that angle that well. But the referees, both of them behind the play, had the same angle we had. Let's take a look at this one. See if this ball touches the ground.
Doesn't look like it.
Tough to tell. Doesn't look like it. Got to go with the referee saying good call at that point.
Thanks, Abraham. Hold. Overthrows Cedric Tillman in the corner of the end zone. William McClay, number 5, back there on the coverage of Tillman, number 82, out of the University of Northern Colorado.
Tell you what, Mike Holt is not sharp. I don't think there's any question about it. He has overthrown his deep receivers when he's tried to throw it with touch, put air underneath it. When he's tried to throw it hard, he's overthrown them. And he underthrew the pass that he completed down here to open this drive.
In the final 35 seconds of the first quarter, Holt 2 out of 7 overall. Under some pressure, shows some good running ability. And oh, did he take a pop from Eric Anderson, number 33, and from Flint Fleming and Ted Henning, 84 and 75.
You see the escapability of Mike Holt. There he gets away from Billy Harris, the middle guard. Then he gets outside, tries to cut back up inside. And I'll tell you, good job done by Fleming to keep Holt in front of him, not allow him to fake him inside, break around outside, and get more yardage. Fleming did a good job.
Both quarterbacks cold in the first quarter, which comes to an end. The defenses dominate, and Rusty Fricke's 27-yard field goal gives Denver a 3-0 lead after one period here at McNichols Arena. Denver with a 3-0 lead after one quarter, and the Dynamite down on the drive 15-yard line facing third down. We get set to begin play here in the second quarter. Mike Holt bringing Schutz in motion. Throwing quickly, and it is caught by number 88, Fred Doucette, and he's got enough for a first down in front of David Evans, number 26. Good throw this time by Holt, who's been high or low, but not very accurate until that rifle shot to Doucette on the quick hitch. So the Dynamite keep this drive alive, leading 3-0 early in the second quarter. Now with first down and goal to go. Second catch of the game for Doucette. Oh, Corbin drilled by Tate Randall in the backfield for a loss. Great play by Randall.
Tate Randall read that from the snap. What happened was the Dynamite came down to double team Corker with a motion man. That left Randall with nobody outside to cover. And he just shot through, saw the handoff, and drilled the ball carrier. Boy, Tate Randall's having himself a ball game today.
Well, last year, of course, we mentioned he tied for the Arena Football League with 7 interceptions, but he'll play the run, too. He played 5 years in the NFL with the Colts and the Oilers and the Dolphins. And John Corker comes through with his first sack of the night. And the drive knocks the Dynamite back outside the 20-yard line. And that's the pressure Tim Markham has been wanting to see from John Corker.
Well, really a mismatch in that the Denver Dynamite tried to block Corker with Schutz, who is a good guy, a wonderful, versatile player, but he's not going to get up front and get into the face of John Corker and make it happen. Schutz is a receiver, an inside linebacker, but he's not a blocker on a pass rush type player.
John Corker, who is down in Florida working out, and he got the call to return to Detroit for arena ball, wants another shot at the NFL. And a hold on third down leads Doucette too far down the middle. Fourth down coming up, and this Dynamite drive, which had reached the drive 7-yard line, first and goal, stalls out back on the 20 after great defensive plays by Tate Randall and John Corker.
And give Randall a lot of credit, because that big defensive play that he made came on first down when the Dynamite were in range of making things happen. But he pushed them back and really put the advantage to the defense.
Rusty Fricke, who has connected from 27 yards, will attempt a 35-yarder. And it is blocked. It looked like Billy Harris. And Mike Holt swats the ball back downfield. It is recovered by the drive's William McClay, and there's a flag down for what Holt did, just swatting the ball Kenny Stabler style down the field.
That's illegally batting the football. The referee makes the call. You can't do that. He could have picked it up and tried to make yardage, but Mike Holt tried to bat it forward, so it'd be a disadvantage to the drive.
Let's watch the block field goal. It was Billy Harris, indeed, the former Michigan noseman, who got through and reacquaints himself with Mike Hold, the former South Carolina quarterback who was holding for that field goal try.
Yep, Billy Harris had a great game against Mike Hold back in 1985 when the Wolverines went on to a great season, finished #2 nationally after beating Nebraska in the Fiesta Bowl. But they opened that year winning at Notre Dame, South Carolina, and against Maryland. And Maryland had a good team that year. And Billy Harris got a real good look at Hold.
And the drive starts at the Dynamite 15. Schleister, no one open, is sacked for a big loss of about 19 yards. They'll make it 14 where they mark it.
You cannot fault the offensive line. Look at the time Schleister has. They're doing a great job of protection, and Schleister just doesn't have a receiver to throw to. There you heard Tim Markham just there on our microphone down on the field. He told a two-sided choice. What that means
I thought he had a throw at George, didn't you?
The wide receiver now will read the cornerback along with the cornerback, and they will both look and decide what to do once the cornerback makes the play.
Here's Mullen open. The ball underthrown. Has he got it or not? He does. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
That is a great catch by Mullen. And the play called by Markham was choice. And what it is this ball was underthrown. But the safety sat down on the play, the quarterback rather. And that meant that Mullen would run the post cut to the middle of the field. If Schleicher throws this ball all the way, it's a touchdown. But Mullen just makes a great catch sliding on the underthrown ball. But they read, the quarterback and Mullen both read the corner. And they threw the pass based on his play.
So the drive down at the 1, a chance to take the lead. Alvin Reddick fumbles. And Schleicher recovers it back near the 10-yard line. Reddick looked like he was going over the top for the touchdown, and the ball flew out of there.
Let's take a listen to Tim Markham again.
Zigo backside. Hit him.
Play called Zigo backside. What they'll do is they'll look all the receivers to the right or left, and then Schleicher will throw back the opposite way.
That's LaFrance in motion. Pump fake. He'll throw to LaFrance the other way. It is a touchdown. George LaFrance. Probably the fastest player on the Detroit team, hauls in the 10-yard touchdown catch on the throw from Art Schleister, and he made a great grab, Jim.
Made a great grab and a great call by Tim Markham. Zigo backside. See everybody going over to Schleister's right. LaFrance cuts underneath and goes to the backside or away from the other two receivers. And he got isolated on Bianchini, who is a short guy. Schleister threw it up there. LaFrance went up and got it in the drive, take the lead.
Novo Bojovic to attempt the extra point. Now, if this one misses and comes off the net, the ball is not alive. Adams puts it down. The kick by Novo is good. So with 9:09 remaining in the first half, the drive has taken the lead on the first touchdown of the Arena football season for 1991 by that man out of Baker College in Kansas, George LaFrance. Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, George had a chance with the Packers a couple of years ago, went to camp and pulled a muscle and was cut. Came back to Arena football, and the place where they love him the most, aside from Joe Louis Arena, is on the postseason tour of Europe, especially in Paris, where the announcers love announcing his name.
Yep. Well, here's LaFrance once again, and that's a backside throw. You see the other two receivers on the right side of the field. LaFrance started over there and cuts all the way across the field to the backside. And Schleicher just delivered the ball nicely. Got it in there. LaFrance went up to make the catch. And after sputtering a bit, the Detroit drive offense picks it up and takes the lead.
That was set up by the blocked field goal by Billy Harris. A sack sent the drive back to their own 20.
Big catch by Gary Mullen in there on the underthrown ball by Schleister.
Set it up on the 1, then Reddick fumbled the ball back out to the 10, and then LaFrance hauls it in for the score.
Well, the drive's certainly trying to make it exciting, aren't they?
15 yards in 4 plays, the long way. Novo's kick. That goes through the uprights, hangs up in the net, goes out of the end zone. That'll be a touchback and come out to the 5-yard line. You can't kick them much better than that. 40 yards overall on the scoring drive, but that's the long way. They started at the Dynamite 15-yard line.
They actually got into the end zone, I think, with Reddick, the fullback. He was over the top and actually fumbled, I think, maybe in the end zone, but the referees ruled that he did not break the plane. The ball came back out to the 10. And Schleister had to go to the air on that throwback pattern to the backside to LaFrance to make it work.
So the drive on top, 7-3. Corker with the pressure on Hole, and he overthrows the speedy Fred Doucette, number 88, who can run a 4.3640.
David Evans does a good job of coverage there, because Doucette is fast, and it was a simple fly pattern. More than anything, I think the Dynamite trying to get the drive thinking deep, because they really haven't tried to go downfield. When they have, Hold has not been sharp.
You know what I like about this arena ball, Jim? I like a lot of things about it, but especially the hand checking.
Oh, yeah.
The receivers heading downfield. You can bump them into the wall. As long as you don't tackle them, there's no foul. Hold in the end zone, throws it short of his intended receiver, Doucette again.
I'm telling you, we might see Greg Freeman come into the ball game as the backup quarterback for the Denver Dynamite.
Hold now 3 out of 11 for 51 yards, and Babe Parilli, a former star quarterback himself under Bear Bryant.
Anything but a first, guys. Anything but a first.
Is beside
Anything but a first.
Jim Markham shout to his secondary, let him catch anything but a first down. He doesn't want a touchdown either. Ball on the 5-yard line, Hold out of the shotgun. Reddick coming with the blitz. It's a safety. Reddick and John Corker meeting at Mike Hold in the end zone for Detroit's second sack and a 2-point safety to give the drive a 9-3 lead.
Well, the guy that makes the mistake here is number 33, Cannon, who is the fullback. He does not get Reddick, and Reddick gets right into the face. It was Reddick coming from his inside linebacker position, and Cannon thought he was going to come through the right guard center gap. Reddick faked that way, came back the other side. Cannon was too late to get across the center to make the play, and it was Reddick hitting him and Corker beating Adams and getting him to the ball.
Opener this Friday night at Cholo's Arena. All the hard-hitting, off-the-net, off-the-wall action returns with the Drive's former Big Ten All-American quarterback Art Schleister, Dwayne Dixon, George LaFrance, and the rest of the two-way tough champions. Plus, you'll see the Subway Dancers. Don't miss the Detroit Drive home opener against the Orlando Predators this Friday night at 7:30 p.m. First 5,000 fans receive a free Drive megaphone courtesy of Harmony House. Tickets now on sale at Cholo's Arena and all Ticketmaster centers.
Detroit Drive safety to Drive have a 9-3 lead over the Dynamite. Really a low-scoring game at this point, but that's not really uncommon in a beginning game. If you talk to quarterback Art Schleister, as we did prior to the game, he'll tell you, to get the feel of the game, it takes a little while to get going.
Well, I don't think it's as much a mystery to me as it maybe is some of the guys that have never played arena ball before, but there's always a partial thing where you really don't know what to expect, and each team's picking up new players at all times. So it's a new game every week, and it's a fun game every week. I just hope that we're up to the test tonight, because we don't know much about Denver, and we're going to have to find out on the field.
Well, Art Schleister's finding out more and more. He's completed his last 3 passes. That's George LaFrance, who scored the only touchdown of the game so far, handles the kickoff and runs it back out to the Drive 20-yard line.
You know, while it's a good idea for Rusty Fricky to hit those line drives because they're tough to handle, I mean, he's given George LaFrance 10, 15 yards because there's no hang time. Plus, he doesn't get the advantage of possibly getting a crazy bounce off the net. So I don't think that's a great strategy by the Denver Dynamite.
Jim Markham screaming Y, I believe.
That means the Y receiver. He wants Timeout, Denver Dynamite. They didn't like the defense they had, so Denver called the timeout.
I'll tell you why. They had 9 players out on the field. That's why they didn't like the defense. They were going to be penalized. And so Babe Parilli calls off one of his players, John Norris, and we take a timeout with our score, the Drive 9 and the Dynamite 3. Cheerleaders entertaining a rather sparse crowd here in Denver. But the ones who are here are rather enthusiastic. Next Friday night, I expect Joe Louis Arena will really be jumping when the Orlando Predators come in for the Drive's home opener. Movement up front. And it appeared that Tim Adams bumped into center John Ralph before the snap. We'll wait to see if he was drawn off. He was not. That'll be a 3-yard penalty. Jim, the interesting story about Orlando, there's really a twofold story there. Number one, the Drive's coach of last year, Perry Moss, brings Orlando in. He led the Drive to its 3rd straight championship. Tim Markham, the coach you see on your screen there, won the first 2. But also the 2 general partners of the Orlando team are former baseball managers, Whitey Herzog and Davey Johnson. George LaFrance is open behind the secondary and hauls in Schleister's pass for a 27-yard touchdown, and the Drive goes on top 15-3.
That was another choice play. The quarterback Schleister, look at him. He's looking at the safety right now. He's looking to see which way he reads. LaFrance did the same thing. And when the safety sat down, or the cornerback sat down, Tillman, to try to take away the outcut, LaFrance busted it down the middle on a post cut. Both LaFrance and Schleister read the coverage of the defender and non-verbally communicated it and threw the touchdown pass. Nice job by both players.
So George LaFrance has his 2nd touchdown in 3 minutes, and the extra point attempt hits the bar. It's no good. And the Drive lead remains 12 at 15-3 with 6:12 remaining before halftime here at Denver. Art Schleister, who is off to just a 1-4 start tonight, has now completed his last 4 passes. His last 2 have both gone for touchdowns to George LaFrance. Detroit now leads at 15-3. So Schleister said sometimes you just feel your way through the early going of a ball game. Is now obviously feeling much more comfortable with that offense. Wayne Coffey is deep. He'll play Novo's kick off the net. Misplays it. Picks it up in the end zone. Gets out of there to the 6. Good coverage by Big John Relt, number 62 from Iowa.
So you know why Art Schleister feels comfortable is because the Detroit Drive coaches have seen something in what defensively Denver's doing to him. There's no safety in the middle of the field. So Schleister reads the cornerback, as does LaFrance. LaFrance reads him sitting down, looking for the outcut. LaFrance fakes the out, busts the post pattern over the middle of the field. Schleister read it, LaFrance led it, and they threw the pass for the touchdown. It just couldn't work any better.
LaFrance runs about a 4.3 40 himself. Here's a keeper by Hold. Run out of bounds around the 11-yard line by Mullen, number 1, and Alvin Reddick, number 44.
Well, that's that same little counter option looking play, and Hold has done real well both times he's run it.
Here's that game we were talking about next Friday, the home opener for the Drive with Perry Moss coming in. Orlando team owned by Whitey Herzog and Davey Johnson, the former Major League managers, among others. We were talking about them when Schleister threw that strike from center field. They're right on the money to LaFrance at the plate. Hold for Doucette. Good coverage by Evans, bumping him all the way. No flag, although Doucette obviously wants one.
I tell you, one of the reasons that these defensive backs are doing this is the way they cover. They do very good job at technique. See the eyes coming back for the ball by Evans? Referees will never throw a flag when the defender is looking back for the ball. And that's just a technique. You read the receiver's eyes, and when the receiver looks back, you look back and then shove him ever so slightly into the wall. That contact is incidental. No flag thrown because you're looking back for the ball.
But I guarantee you, even if you're 4-3, if you scrape the wall, you're slowed down to 4, 6, or 7. Hold with that keeper again, has the first down, and gets out of bounds before Tate Randall runs him through the wall near the 20.
They're taking advantage of the aggressiveness and the outside heavy upfield rush of John Corker. Corker wants to get a sack, so he lines up on the outside shoulder, and I mean, he just busts upfield as hard as he can go. All you need to do is get a piece of the nose guard. Corker takes himself out of the play, and Hold runs through the vacated area.
First down for Denver. 3:35 remaining in the half. Here comes Corker. Screen pass dropped by Cannon. Oh boy, he was trying to run before he had that one.
And as soon as Corker came free, he should have stopped rushing and came back to the line of scrimmage, because that was a screen set up all the way. See, Corker completely unblocked, wanted to get to Hold, but didn't think about the screen. And the screen man, Cannon, was standing right where Corker left. If John stayed home, he might have had himself an interception or gotten the ball carrier after he caught the ball.
Well, Mike Hold now 3 out of 13. Well, that incompletion obviously wasn't his fault. Good throw there to Bianchini around midfield. That will be short of a first down. William McClay, number 5 on the coverage. Gain of about 7 yards.
That's all the defense wanted. They did not want to give up the first down. The cushion that Tate Randall gave him was just enough. He forced him to break off his pattern and come back to the ball, and it was short of the first down. Now it puts them into a 3rd down and 4 situation.
Well, after the ball game, we'll be announcing our Subway Player of the Game. And next week at the home opener, you fans at Joe Louis Arena will enjoy the Subway Cheerleaders, who will give these Denver Dynamite cheerleaders a run for their money. Timeout called here by Denver. That will leave the Dynamite with just one more before the intermission. But Babe Parilli needs the break here, Jim, to talk things over with Mike Hold, because the Dynamite trails by 12. Only 2:17 remains in the first half. And the Dynamite quarterback, Mr. Hold, wearing number 7, needs a big play here on 3rd down.
You know, we talked a little bit about our Subway Player of the Game. George LaFance right now has a leg up with 2 touchdown catches. He's done a good job, and he's the kind of player that will make big plays for you. We saw him a couple of years ago take one off the screen and return it for a touchdown. Right now, Denver's got to figure out a way to get something happening offensively against this drive defense.
You think we'll see Babe Parilli change quarterbacks if Mike Hold can't lead them in before the intermission?
Now, I don't know. He just is not sharp. He's overthrown passes. He's underthrown passes. And now I think his receivers are also thinking, you know, I've got to be wide open before I'm going to get the ball to me. It's kind of a snowball effect.
3rd down for the Dynamite. And Hold goes for all of it, and Doucette can't hold on in the corner of the end zone with David Evans on the coverage. That was a pretty well-thrown ball.
That was a well-thrown ball over the outside shoulder, and Evans did a great job of coverage. Take a look again as Evans runs stride for stride. And watch, his eyes go back up to the ball, and a ball thrown just to the outside, and the wall actually takes that ball away from Doucette. As Doucette beat Evans, he just couldn't catch up to the football.
It looked like his feet were out of bounds, though. I don't think it would have counted if he caught it. So Rusty Fricky will attempt another field goal. 39 yards on this attempt. Flag down, and that kick is blocked by Flint Fleming. Ball picked up in the end zone by LaFrance. He runs it out over the 10 to the 12. Now we'll see what the flag was all about. Flint Fleming, number 84, came flying through to block the kick. Illegal procedure against Detroit. That may have been an illegal rush on the field goal block attempt.
Well, they're talking to John Corker, and right before the snap of the ball, Corker jumped up as we take a look at the return by LaFrance, which will be nullified by the penalty, and it will give a first down.
Well, it apparently will give Denver a first down. There's some discussion about that.
Tim Markham now wants a timeout, and I think he wants to talk to the officials.
We'll see if Tim gets his way. He's trying to get the attention of Jack Baker, the referee.
Come here!
Well, he wants to give Mr. Baker a piece of his mind.
Well, Tim's only got 7 players out on the field now. David Evans just came off. Now Evans is going back out onto the field. It is not going to be a first down. It's 4th and inches. Denver's going to go for it, and Markham finally calls timeout, and he's signaling for referee Jack Baker to come over and hear a few words of wisdom. I want an explanation of the rules, he said.
And he has every right to ask the official for an explanation of the rules. Now, he cannot go over and talk to him if he's going to complain about a judgment call. But he wants an explanation of the rules. And now Baker is going to come over and talk to him.
Art Schleister finally came out to get Jack Baker's attention.
We had 3 down. We had 3 down.
Kick situation, you have to have 5, and they all got to be down.
You're no. No, you're no. No way. If I don't want to put 5 down, I don't have to put 5 down. You know better than that.
Well,
I don't have to put...
the conversation just went over the edge for us, Mr. Brandstatter.
Yes, it did. I was very, very impressed with Tim Markham's restraint. It was Art Schleister who got a little hot under the collar and used some language that probably wasn't appropriate. But Tim Markham's complaint is that you don't have to put 5 guys down to rush the kick. And that's, again, a rules interpretation. The referee says yes, Markham says no.
Well, there is a flag down as Bart Schutz gets the handoff and the apparent first down.
Looks like John Relt, the drive nose guard, jumped off sides, and it will be a first down for the Denver Dynamite as the referees have just made Tim Markham's night in the Mile High City a little tougher to take.
Hey, did you see the right guard move? Did you see the right guard move?
Tim Markham is not a happy camper right now.
The right guard
No,
move.
he's not.
What the hell is wrong with you guys? Wake up, you're not missing a hell of a game.
That's a first down for Denver.
They're missing a heck of a game, aren't they?
1:04 remains in the half. Hold with a shovel pass. That's an incomplete pass. It is not a fumble.
I tell you, the Detroit drive defense has got this Denver offense thinking a lot of things. One of the reasons might be John Corker. Corker has done a great job of getting things done inside. We talked to him prior to this game about the difficulty of Mike Holt being a quarterback to play against.
The quarterbacks in this league that I know of that's been around, he's a great scrambler, and he really a plus for his ball club with his scrambling ability.
John Corker, who had 1 sack by himself and shared another with Alvin Reddick for a safety here in the second quarter, but who's also had to chase Mike Holt all over the field because of his scrambling ability.
And from the shotgun formation, he's even tougher as a scrambler.
Corker was just taken down on his rush. That ball's alive off the net. An incomplete pass, and a flag is down, and they may call interference on David Evans. I don't know how, because the ball was completely uncatchable off the net.
There's no way that ball could be caught. And if you watch David Evans once again, his head was turned back for the football. He was going for the ball against Fred Doucette. We take a look at the replay. The ball is thrown deep. Look at his head. Evans' head is turning back to the ball. The ball is overthrown, hits the net. There's no way that ball can be caught. And Evans, with incidental contact, runs into him in the back, and they are calling the penalty against the drive. And it's an automatic first down at the 11-yard line. And right now, Tim Markham, in my opinion anyway, has every right to complain, because he has gotten 3 straight tough call.
Well, that ball was uncatchable, plain and simple. But Doucette, remember, had complained a little earlier about interference. This time he got the call. First down on the 11. Here's Hold again, and he's chopped down as he crossed the 10-yard line. Gary Mullen came up from the secondary to cover again as they tried to take advantage of John Corker. Jim?
Taking advantage of John Corker with that strong upfield rush. And Holt this time tried to get around the other linebacker, Gary Mullen. And Mullen made the good play this time, holding him to a gain of just a yard. Now Mullen comes out, and Reddick steps back into the position of linebacker.
Holt will throw for it. Oh, almost in the end zone on the post cut right through the hands of Frank Bianchini.
I tell you, Mike Holt should not be blamed for that one, because that's a quick slant cut. Holt gets the pocket set, and I mean, he drills this ball in there on the hands of Bianchini. He just dropped the ball. He had McClay beaten, and that is a very well thrown football, and Bianchini should have caught that for a touchdown for Denver.
Instead, it's 3rd down, 8 to go from the 9, and Holt is 4 out of 16. Same pass, and this time McClay almost picked it off. Same intended receiver, Bianchini. And McClay says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He nearly got the interception.
And he plays it perfectly. Holt drills this ball in there, but there is McClay right in front. Should have had the interception. He drops it, but a great defensive play. Reading the play, Babe Perilli figured, what the heck? We were wide open once before. We'll go back to it again. He tried. McClay was there to make the play.
12 seconds remaining in the half now. And Rusty Brickey will attempt another field goal, but before he does, the drive will use another timeout. 12 seconds to go in the half, and Tim Markham will try to ice Mr. Brickey just a little bit. Rusty has missed from 50 yards, connected from what was officially called a 26-yarder. Then had a 28-yarder blocked by Billy Harris. And then he started this scrambly play here in the final 2 minutes of the first half when he had another field goal blocked by Flint Fleming. That was the one on which John Corker was called for not being in a down line position. Started the brouhaha with Tim Markham and started a series of calls which the Drive felt were unfair against them and which Denver felt were a long time in coming. Been a long drive for Denver. There's 6:02 left on the clock when the Dynamite got the football. Now there are just 12 seconds remaining. Dynamite trying to cap this possession off with a field goal before the halftime break. And now they're going to go for it on 4th down. They won't try the field goal. There's a drop kick by Holt, and it is blocked and picked up by Flint Fleming, who will be tackled right around the 15-yard line. And so the Drive blocked yet another kick. The Dynamite went for the drop kick by Mike Holt for the field goal instead of a simple attempt by Rusty Brickey, and that backfires. I'm not sure who that is up the middle who's gotten the football. It looks like number 33, Eric Anderson, out of Millikan University and Ypsilanti, Michigan, and Flint Fleming, who picks it up. So the Drive have now officially blocked 2 field goal attempts and unofficially blocked the 3rd one. Art Schleister, with 6 seconds left on the clock, will go for one quick score. Flag down, could be holding. McClay can't hold it. Incomplete, broken up in the end zone by the opposite number 5, Alvin Williams of Denver. Time has run out on the first half. If it's holding against the Drive, Denver will no doubt decline the penalty. We'll get one last look at Alvin Williams, whom you saw there in the blue. Number 5 for Denver, breaking up this pass attempt intended for number 5 of Detroit, William McClay. And so on that incompletion, the first half comes to an end, with the Detroit Drive scoring 15 unanswered points in the second quarter to jump on top of the Denver Dynamite at halftime by a score of 15-3. George LaFrance scoring both Drive touchdowns on receptions of 10 and 27 yards. from Art Schleister. And the drive adding a safety when Alvin Redding and John Corker combined to sack Mike Hold, the Denver quarterback, in the end zone. So we are at halftime. It's Detroit 15, Denver 3. We'll be back with our intermission activities from McNichols Arena in the Mile High City after these words on pass. Frank Beckmann along with Jim Brandstatter back with you from McNichols Arena in Denver. We're at halftime in the Arena Football Opener for 1991. And the Detroit Drive have come on to grab a 15-3 lead over the Dynamite. All the scoring for Detroit coming in the second quarter. It was a slow start offensively for the Drive. They couldn't get anything going in the first period. Denver's Rusty Fricky missed a 50-yard field goal. Detroit's Novo Boyovich missed a 39-yarder. Then Fricky connected from 26 yards to put Denver on top 3-0. Art Schleister connected on just one of his first 4 passes for 10 yards, but then got red hot. Completed his next 4 passes through the second quarter, including touchdown throws of 10 and 27 yards to George LaFrance. And for the half, Schleister wound up 5 out of 9 for 75 yards with those 2 touchdown throws. The Drive defense, which was solid the entire first half, adding a safety when Alvin Redding and John Corker combined on a sack in the end zone of Dynamite quarterback Mike Hold. And John Corker, who we mentioned before the game, has never really cut loose as an Arena Football pass rusher, has shown signs of that tonight. He had 1 sack all his own and then shared the one with Redding for the safety, and it was pressure like Corker's that forced Denver quarterback Mike Hold into a 4 of 17 performance in the first half. Well, the man who acquires the talent for the Drive, and who knows, is probably looking for more as the World League of American Football winds down toward its first title, is Drive general manager Gary Vito, and he's down on the field right now with my broadcast partner Jim Brandstatter. Brando?
Come on, everybody. Frank, you're exactly right. Gary Vito is with me. And Gary, you looking out there for new talent after watching this first half here in Denver?
Well, I think it looks like a couple of teams out there right now, Jim, that haven't played in a little while. Both teams look a little bit rusty. Hopefully the second half will be a little better than the first.
I know that we didn't get a chance to talk to Tim Markham as he left the field. We're going to try to get him before he comes out for the second half, but one of the things that always bothers people is officiating. What happened in that last drive for Denver? They got 3 calls that basically put them down in position to get something happening.
Well, I think sometimes what happens is we look like we started to dominate the game a little bit there, and they looked like they started to watch us a little bit closer than they were watching them. I think they made a phantom call down here in the end zone. As far as this interference call was concerned, there was absolutely no interference here, but they're trying to do their best, and we'll come back and we'll play hard, and they'll work hard.
Obviously, the Drive looks like they're dominating a little bit, and again, the thing started to move away. But defensively, this is the best performance I've seen by an Arena ball team in quite some time. And is that a function of the defense being ahead of the offense at this time of the year, you think?
Well, to our pleasant surprise, I think some of our veterans came back in shape this year, better than I've ever seen them. They've been here for 3 years now, but I think they felt that they might have 1 or 2 more years left, and they came back, and they knew that we could only protect 12 players, and they knew the 12 that we protected had to come back and be in shape and be ready to play. Now, we'll go into next week and the following week and look at the other teams that are in the league, and if we're not quite good enough, we'll have to keep trying to improve. But I think the 12 that we protected really are out there playing very, very hard.
Gary, let's talk about this team at this league. You know, a couple of years ago, it looked like this sport was going to go away. Went over to Europe, got some support there, came back last year. Now this year, you're trying to make a go of it again. The Detroit franchise has always been at the forefront. Is this the leader of this league, the Detroit franchise?
Well, I think Mr. Illich has certainly been a great supporter of Arena football, and he's always been under the impression that he felt that this surely could turn into a very, very good spectator sport, and we all believe the same thing. I think the enthusiasm that you see here tonight, even though the weather's so bad, there's not a large crowd here, you see the people here having fun. The thing about this game that has to happen is the people have to start to identify with the players. We have to start to create our own stars, and as we do that, the people will come back and they will support us.
Talk about the Detroit Drive schedule in the sense that you've always had tremendous support, and this year you got some darn good teams coming into Joe Louis Arena with some pretty big name stars. You got Orlando coming in Friday. You also have a TV package that I know Frank and I will be on a couple of more times maybe this year, but a TV package league-wide.
Absolutely. The Prime Network is going to televise 10 games on Friday night. And the Detroit Drive will go ahead and also televise another 2 games on PABS. And you, yourself and Frank, of course, will do those games for us. The league is moving forward, Jim. We're really pleased with the ownership that we have in the league this year. We're working hard to go forward with it, and we feel that we really have an opportunity to do that now.
Gary, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it, and best of luck in your home opener next week against Orlando at Joe Louis all season long, and let's make it 4 on the floor, huh, boss?
We're sure going to try hard, Jimmy. Thank you very much.
Gary Vito, general manager of the Detroit Drive. Frank, back up to you and let you take it out from halftime.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. 4 on the floor indeed is what the Drive is looking for. But with a 10-game schedule ahead, you obviously have to use the old cliche, grab them one at a time. And the Drive is halfway to that first victory here in Denver tonight.
Cheeser, not 1 but 2 pizzas loaded with cheese and up to 5 toppings for $8.98.
Cheeser.
The Wellness Plan presents Mr. and Mrs. Isaac Newton.
Isaac?
What goes over must come undone.
Isaac, trying to discover the formula for gravity is taking over your life.
What goes around comes around.
If you don't pay attention, you could have an accident. We need an HMO. I'm calling the Wellness Plan.
Well, whoever gets well must have been sick.
And that's why we should sign up for the Wellness Plan today. You never know when you'll need it.
The Wellness Plan, an HMO that's good for you. Call 875-WELL.
Millions of Americans show us their cards every week, and we show them a lot.
Wow, what a difference! Blockbuster Video, wow!
Not a big deal. Whoa. The Drive is minus 16 rushing. Yeah, but that'll be passing though. You got to take it. Yeah, you got to take that off passing. In college football, it's rushing. Back here at McNichols Arena in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, the Drive putting those 15 points on the board in the second quarter to build a 12-point lead at the intermission over the homestanding Denver Dynamite. How did it all happen? Well, Denver jumped out to a 3-0 first quarter lead on Rusty Fricke's 26-yard field goal. But then the game turned around after Billy Harris, the former Michigan noseman, blocked Fricke's 28-yard field goal attempt early in the second quarter. The Drive took over at the 15-yard line of Denver. After Schleister was sacked back in his own territory, he hit Gary Mullen down at the Dynamite 1. Alvin Reddick fumbled the ball back to the 10, and then Art Schleister found George LaFrance in the end zone to put the Drive on top. We've got a couple of looks at that first Drive touchdown of about 10 yards from Schleister to George LaFrance. Now you'll see LaFrance started on the right side of your screen, came back across the middle and reached high over his head to pull that ball in and put the Drive on top 7-3. We get one more look from the end zone, and Jim Brandstatter, Art Schleister, and LaFrance read it beautifully to combine on the score.
Well, there was a good call made, too, by Tim Markham. He saw it happen, called the play, and they got it. Now, this is the safety. Corker and Reddick get the job done.
Alvin Reddick comes blowing through around Willie Cannon, the running back. And then on the next Drive possession, it's LaFrance again with that great speed getting behind Cedric Tillman in the end zone for his second touchdown. And Schleister put this one right on the money in single coverage.
Single coverage. The safety had gone out of there in man-to-man defense. So it was a play, LaFrance and Schleister reading the secondary back, the cornerback Tillman. Tillman sat down on the pass play, which that means he was waiting for the out cut. LaFrance gave him a quick little cut to the sideline, then busted it down the middle of the field. Schleister threw it perfectly, and that resulted in a 6-point play for the Detroit Drive.
Well, in total yardage, the Denver Dynamite is actually...
Don't look now, but the ice is gone and the water is heating up. Anderson Sales and Service has just what you need to make it a wet and wild summer with the full line of Kawasaki jet skis and watercraft. Right now at Anderson, get 2 with a double trailer for as little as $175 a month. And if you buy now, you'll get $100 worth of free accessories. Kawasaki, get the good times wet. Anderson Sales and Service, your personal watercraft superstore. Telegraph Road in Bloomfield Hills. The best deals are at
Subway's Cold Cut Combo. It starts with a foundation of the freshest bread anywhere. Baked every 4 hours in every Subway store. Then cheese, 3 kinds of meat, and whichever of our 9 tasty fixings you choose. Total construction cost $1.69. It's time to eat. Subway's 6-inch Cold Cut Combo. For $1.69, we can build one for you.
The finest natural ingredients, then brewed and aged with extra care for that clean, crisp, cold taste. The taste only Budweiser can deliver.
And we'll toast and cheer with the king of beers.
The king of beers.
Nothing beats a Bud.
How hot can it get inside your car's engine? This hot, 570 degrees under extreme conditions. Take a leading motor oil. Take Mobil 1 and watch. Of course, Mobil 1 costs more, but under extreme conditions, when you see what can happen to conventional motor oil, it doesn't pay to play with fire. Mobil 1, isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Frank Beckmann, Jim Brandstatter back at McNichols Arena in Denver with Drive head coach Tim Markham. Tim, slow start in that first quarter, kind of a sloppy ball game.
Yeah.
But then you got your sea legs, and Art Schleister caught fire in the second.
Yeah, the thing that we're not doing, though, is we're just not pitching and catching like we should. I think everything's going to get a little better. It seems like we were on the field defensively the entire second quarter, so we didn't have the ball much.
Well, your defense did the job, though, especially John Corker finally came on and became that force you've been looking for him to become as a pass rusher.
You know, we've got to rush theirs and protect ours to win this thing.
All right, well, good luck here in the second half. Novo's getting set to head out there along with the rest of the drive. I know you've got some final words for the team here in the second half. We'll let you get back to the bench, Tim Markham. Thank you very much. 15-3, the drive on top. Novo Boyovich goes over and takes a seat on the drive bench, of course, because Detroit will be receiving the second half kickoff from Rusty Fricky and the Denver Dynamite. Now Tim's losing his voice, Jim, and after hearing him get into it with referee Jack Baker late in that first half, you can understand why.
Yeah, he's been yelling at everybody out there, and while there's not a big crowd here at McNichols Arena in Denver, certainly a loud group. Tim's trying to yell over them to get Schleister the plays. The communication between Markham and the quarterback, especially on offense, is critical to the success of the drive. He's got to have his quarterback hearing.
Not a large crowd, but a very affectionate one here in Denver. They love their football and their friends. Rusty Fricky kicks it off, another line shot. This one bounces off the bar. Alvin Reddick dives for it, and the drive recovers on the 11. And it was Tate Randall who came out of there with the football. A break for the drive after that line drive kick came right off the frame of the net.
Tell you, that was what Fricky has wanted to do the first time. Line drive that thing and get it back out. He almost got a break, but again, because of the line drive, kick coverage team can't get down there to make it happen. So the Detroit Drive had plenty of time to fall on it.
Art Schleister, who put in a solid performance in the first half, despite a couple of sacks. Brings George LaFrance, who scored both of the game's touchdowns in motion, and delivers it to LaFrance for a gain of 10 and a first down over the 20-yard line. You know, we mentioned Tim Markham losing his voice a little bit, Jim, and part of the reason for that, quite frankly, is that Tim's got to be a little tired. He got into town on Tuesday for his press conference, announcing his rejoining the Drive as head coach once again. Came from New York, immediately went to work with this ball club, had only 3 days to get ready for the football game. Flew to Denver this morning, got some rest at the hotel this afternoon, but basically he's been on go for the last 4 days. William McClay coming in motion. Schleister in some trouble, delivers it to McClay, puts his shoulder down, takes the hit from Alvin Williams, and is close to another first down.
That's a great job by McClay in the sense that he saw his quarterback in trouble. Look at Schleister, wants to go deep, it's covered. Schleister scrambles. McClay comes back to him, gets his attention, so that Schleister has a place to unload the ball. So instead of getting a sack and a loss of yardage, McClay coming back and getting Schleister's attention allows the Drive to pick up 9 big yards.
Just short of a first down. McClay in motion. Toss sweep. Alvin Rettig. I don't think he got it. Rettig, who goes 5'11" and 216 out of Rice, was the #2 rusher in Arena football last year. For 162 yards, averaged almost 4 yards a carry. And he does have a first down, says referee Jack Baker. That was close.
Yeah, Rettig's the kind of runner that when he gets in traffic, he will dive and fight for extra yardage. Let's listen to Tim Markham. You know, we didn't get a chance, but one thing I noticed, Schleister is limping a bit as he heads into the huddle. That is a big injury that we're going to look for. Schleister limping just a bit, but he's staying in the ball game.
Well, we mentioned earlier he has a knee problem. He's trying to play this season through it. There's a fake toss to Rettig. Schleister in trouble, sacked by Joe Mark. That'll be the 3rd sack for the Dynamite tonight. And Schleister holds up his hand, and I couldn't do anything about it. He's limping badly now, Jim.
He's going to stay in the ball game, but it looked as though Schleister wanted to go with a little throwback screen, and the defense just totally caved in. The offensive line protection is Joe Mark at 6'3", 270, put a big hammer on Art Schleister.
It's the right knee which bothers Art. That's the knee he has to plant to make the throw. Play starts in motion, goes back, blitz coming, and a good throw to Mullen, but he was out of bounds when he caught it. And Mullen fires the football back in the direction of the field judge, Bob Mantooth.
Schleister really drills this ball in there, and Mullen was wide open. You can see the Denver Dynamite playing zone. Now, in the past, they have not allowed zone defense in this league, but they do allow zone now. And the best part about it is the fact that Schleister has the ability to read defense. He can read zone, as does his receiver, and they can get open underneath some deep zone coverage.
3rd down. Schleister with a flag down, hits McClay. He gets back up at the 15, gets a couple of yards, but pays for it on the hit by Wayne Coffey. Now on the flag in the backfield, referee Jack Baker indicates illegal motion, and that'll wipe out the first down on this catch by William McClay.
The illegal motion was the man in motion. He came up and was beyond the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. And that took away a great pass, great catch, and a big play to get the Drive out of trouble. Big 2nd down and long. And they make themselves some good yardage and at least get within range of Novo Bojovic to try to make something happen, get some points on the board out of this drive. And the penalty, again, not concentrating, cost the Drive.
6 penalties, 23 yards. Schleister on 3rd and 22, hangs it up for Mullen, overthrows him. Frank Bianchini nearly got the interception. That'll bring up 4th down, and Schleister is helped up by Joe March and by Marshall Foreman, and you can see that Art is really hurting Jim.
Yeah, whether he's going to be able to continue or not will be interesting, and Schleister's backed up by Ron Adams. Take a look at this. March gets him
right in the right knee.
On the knee. And that wasn't an illegal bad hit.
No, it's just that that's his sore knee.
Right. March was coming around trying to make the rush, was getting hit, blocked down, and did everything he could to get to the quarterback, which is his job.
Novo will try a field goal from 45 yards. It's long enough and high enough, wide right, off the net, and grabbed by Wayne Coffey. He runs into his own man, Alvin Williams, and gets it out to the 5, where Alvin Reddick, number 44, and John Corker, number 88, make the tackle, and tempers are flaring down there as we take timeout. 9:14 to play in the 3rd quarter, and the drive continues to lead Denver by 12. You can hear this crowd in the background. It's not a very big crowd, but it is a vociferous one as the Denver Dynamite huddles back in its own end zone around quarterback Mike Hold, number 7. And there's the answer to our question, Jim, about whether Babe Parilli would stick with his starter out of South Carolina in a very shaky first half.
As they say, he's riding the rapids with him.
Marshall Foreman, the cousin of George Foreman, the boxer, gets a yard or 2, and that's it.
Say, Gary Mullen's doing a good job as that weak side linebacker. The other guy's had a great ball game tonight before the drive defensively. Has been Tate Randall. And believe me, they've got something to pay back this Denver team for.
Holt is a heck of a scrambling quarterback, you know, gets in trouble, and he makes big plays happen, and we're just going to have to contain him and cover the receivers the best we can.
Tate still upset that Mike Hold was able to scramble against the drive of last year. Here's Hold in the end zone. He's sacked for a safety again. It was John Relk who got there first, and then it looked like John Corker who finished them off.
I think Reddick was the guy who made the initial play to force Hold back into the end zone. And then Relk, the big number 62 out of Iowa, just rolled in there, and Corker joined the crowd late. But look at John Relk. He gets a big shot at Hold from the backside as Reddick was the linebacker blitzing who forced Hold to back into the end zone, get away from his standard 5-step drop, and then Relk came off his block to make the big play.
Well, that is the 3rd sack for the drive tonight, their 2nd safety, and it was Corker who got there late and was taking all the credit with his hands in the air, but it was Alvin Reddick and John Relk who got the job done. And the drive now extend that lead to 14 points at 17-3.
Say, this has been a great defensive performance by the Detroit Drive tonight.
Fricke's kick this time, he hangs it high into the net. Fumbled by McClay. He's going to run out of the end zone and got to the 7. Marshall Foreman hauled him down. Had he just fallen on the ball in the end zone, the drive would have gotten it on the 5. He gets an extra 2 or 3 yards on the return.
And Art Schleister returns to the lineup, limping and nicked up a bit here in this opening arena football game for the Detroit Drive, trying to repeat for the 4th straight time as league champion. Schleister hangs in there even though he's on that gimpy knee.
That's a long season ahead.